Hello everyone. Yes, I will warn you in advance. Pretty much this entire video is going to be made up of you watching the video, of course, but having a voiceover by me. This is essentially for two reasons. One, I had a suspicion this was going to happen where sometimes when I'm doing subjects and there's a lot of information for me to remember, I can't always remember the detail. But I had a suspicion that it was going to be windy in Oxford that day, and guess what? It so was windy, so I wasn't going to even try and talk while I was walking along here. Yeah, as you saw from the title, I'm highlighting 3 homes that C.S. Lewis had in Headington where he was a lodger for Mrs. Moore. Now, I have a bit of an article that I read that gave me this information, but I don't want to read it word for word because I feel like that's copyright and all of that lot. But essentially, I don't actually know how Lewis first met Mrs. Moore, because the way he's connected to her is a comrade of Lewis who was killed in World War One was Mrs. Moore's son. So presumably maybe her son introduced Lewis, or maybe he went to visit her after he died. Who knows? I don't. So just thought you should know where that comes from. But when Lewis, or Jack as he affectionately liked to be known as, because he didn't like being known as Clive, was demobbed in December 1918, he used to go and visit her frequently, regarding her almost like an adoptive mother or a second mother, because of course he lost his dear mother when he was only 9 years old. And some scholars have suggested that there was a bit more of a serious relationship with them, but who knows if that was true or not. But he soon became her lodger after that. And the first home, which we are approaching very shortly now, was 54 Windmill Road. As you saw at the beginning of this video, I highlighted the street where that was. Yeah, it was known as Uplands. Uplands was depending on which side of the road you were, of which parish you fell from. So as you can see very shortly, we should be approaching that house, and that they lived there for less than a year. I don't know why it was not longer, but that is what I have read, and they were under the parish of Highfield and that. So yes, this is the house. It was the right hand one, so where these bay windows and the right hand door, as you can see, it was 54 and that. So yes, quite cute and that. Of course I didn't linger, one because I was running out of time, but B, I'm always conscious of when I visit homes in case any of the owners see me from the outside. So yeah, I crossed over because it gives a much better impression of the house, and also I'm further away, so the neighbors or the actual owners might not notice me very much. So yeah, it's the right hand house, as you can see here. Now we are gonna walk further down Windmill Hill to number 76 Windmill. Actually, it's Windmill Road, sorry, not Hill. Ugh, silly me. Yes, I will read a bit more of this because it does give actual dates. On the 24th of August 1919, Lewis returned from a 2-day trip to Dublin to find that Mrs. Moore had moved 11 houses down to a flat in 76 Windmill Road. So he didn't have to move very far to his second Headington home, which is where we are walking down to now, and that. Yes, I did this in real time because one, I think this kind of video does give you relation if you want to actually use this to find of how long it would take you to find them. But B, it's also the fact that sorry to admit it, you may notice that even though I have used a stabilizer on here, I don't know what it is about my walking thing. I know some people are going to say you need to buy better equipment to finally stabilize this once and for all, but I just don't have the means or the money to pay out for that. But anywho, back to this video. Lewis wrote to his brother on the that same day, just a line to let you know that my arrival and of my change of address, the Minto has left Uplands and has come here with the house number. As you can see, it's I believe it from that red sign, as you can see, it's like some sort of business now. But yes, this was the house. I will insert a different photograph of this house though, because the one thing that surprised me is I've got a photograph of this having bay windows, and as you will see when I turn around again, it doesn't have bay windows anymore. It's got much more modern windows. I assume, you know, for double glazing purposes they've done that and everything, but I must admit it definitely does make that house look very different from what it probably looked like in Lewis's day. Yeah, apparently their landlady was quite quirky, that's for sure. So now coming up, you can see I'm back on Headington Shops. What I've done is I've walked up Windmill Road and I've made a right, and I'm now heading towards the next street, which was where their last home, well, not their last home, but their last home in this immediate vicinity. And that, so you could just see I'm just walking along here and that. Sorry if I'm babbling, guys, I'm just waiting to get to the right point. Yes, as you can see, I'm turning into this street, yeah, which is Holyoake.